Sometimes, silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. We live in a world where everyone wants a reaction, where outrage is currency, and attention is a weapon. They want you to snap, to defend yourself, to explain, to argue, to lose your cool. Because the moment you do, they win. But the Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they mastered the art of staying calm when others expected fire. They understood that silence, presence, and discipline were more powerful than any comeback. That true strength is never loud. So what if you didn't react? What if instead of getting pulled into drama, insults, or manipulation, you chose stillness? What if your calmness confused them and your silence became your sword? This isn't about being passive. It's about choosing where your energy goes. It's about training your mind to see through provocation, to pause before the storm, and to act only when it serves your purpose. Because when you don't take the bait, when you don't flinch, explain, or beg, people notice. They wonder. What you know that they don't. They feel your power, not because you shouted, but because you didn't need to. In this video, you'll learn 7 practical Stoic ways to defeat your enemies without saying a single word. Not with aggression, not with ego, but with calm, calculated strength. Let's begin. Part 1. Stay silent when others expect a reaction. Have you ever felt that urge to react instantly, to defend yourself? Snap back, prove a point. That's your ego screaming to be heard. But Stoicism teaches you something radically different. Don't give them what they want. Most people thrive on chaos. They'll push your buttons just to see you flinch, especially in arguments, conflict, or online drama. It's not about truth, it's about control. And when you react emotionally, you hand that control over like a gift. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best answer to anger is silence." Not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to pause. Here's a practice. The next time someone tries to provoke you, don't say a word. Breathe slowly. Inhale for 5 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale for 5. That's Stoic breath. Control a mental shield disguised as calm. Just that short pause to 5 seconds of quiet puts you in the driver's seat. It gives your logic time to catch up before your emotions hijack the wheel. Because when you react instantly, you're not really choosing your response. You're just playing out a script someone else handed you. Silence, on the other hand, breaks the pattern. They expect a reaction, anger, panic, explanation, and when you give them nothing, it throws them off, confuses them, makes them question themselves. Did I go too far? Why didn't he say anything? Now they're uncomfortable. Not you, and here's the truth. People often say things in the heat of the moment that are not about you at all. It's projection, it's fear, it's weakness dressed up as power. When you stay silent, you're not avoiding conflict, you're rising above it. You're saying, without words, you don't get to control my state. Think about it. When was the last time you regretted staying calm in an argument? Compare that to all the moments you blurted something out in anger and wished you could take it back. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about choosing when to speak and when to let silence say everything. So here's your move this week. When someone tries to trigger you through words, tone, or disrespect, pause. Don't flinch. Breathe. Say nothing. And watch their power dissolve in real time. This is your first form of quiet victory. No noise, no drama, just stillness and control. Part 2. Master the unbothered face, the poker face strategy. People don't just listen to what you say. They watch how you say it. Your face, your tone, your eyes. They give away more than your words ever could. That's why the Stoics trained themselves to master one powerful tool: emotional stillness. The modern version. Your poker face. It's not about looking cold or robotic. It's about staying composed, especially when your mind is screaming inside. Because here's what happens. The moment someone senses your discomfort, they know where to press. They see your forehead tighten, your eyes flicker, your breath shorten, and they go in deeper. Whether it's manipulation, argument, or intimidation, they're reading your face for access. So if you want to hold power, real grounded power, you train yourself to show nothing unnecessary. Relax your forehead, soften your gaze, loosen your jaw. Let your breath slow down until it becomes silent and steady. This isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about guarding your temple. You don't owe anyone your panic. You don't need to show them your storm. Your calm face says, "I'm in control here." Seneca said, "He who angers you conquers you." But before anger even hits your voice, it flashes across your face. And if you let that happen, they've already won. Now think about people. You admire leaders, mentors. Think of someone you've seen walk into a room and instantly command respect. It's not because they're loud. It's because they carry calm like armor. They don't twitch. They don't fidget. They don't break eye contact nervously. They're grounded, and that stillness speaks louder than words. The Stoics knew that how you carry yourself is part of the message. You don't need to bark to be feared. You don't need to shout to be heard. When your face, your tone, and your body stay still, people feel the weight of your presence. So here's a practice. Start observing yourself in uncomfortable situations. Zoom calls, tense conversations, criticism. Notice how your body reacts and choose stillness. Train your face to stay neutral, your breath to stay deep, and your eyes to hold contact without fear. This is the poker face strategy, and it works, not because it hides your truth, but because it proves that you're not governed by emotions. In the moment, control your face, and you'll control the entire mood of the room. Show nothing, and they'll wonder what you're thinking. And that mystery, that calm silence, its power. Part 3. Kill them with success. Let your results speak. Sometimes, the loudest revenge is no revenge at all. No clapback, no argument, no emotional explosion, just proof delivered in silence through results. The Stoics believed that you don't need to shout your value, you just need to become undeniable. Seneca once said, "Time discovers truth, that's it. No need to convince people. No need to explain who you are to those who refuse to see it. Just live your truth so clearly that they choke on their doubts. Because when you're under attack, when people doubt you, insult you, or betray, your natural instinct might be to fight back, to explain yourself. But explanations only go so far. People don't believe words. They believe patterns, consistency, growth, success. And when you focus all your energy on execution, not reaction, something powerful happens. You rise, you stop feeding the drama and start feeding your mission. You stop trying to prove and start building. And with time, your life becomes so strong, so whole, so filled with quiet excellence, that nothing anyone said about you even matters anymore. They said you wouldn't make it. You made it. They said you're weak. You endured. They said you needed them. Turns out you didn't. And all of that happened without a word, because success doesn't argue. It doesn't clap back. It just walks into the room and shifts the energy. Now here's the Stoic move. The next time someone disrespects you, don't feed the fire. Don't rush to defend your ego. Get quiet, get focused, go work, go heal. Go build something so unshakable, so real, that your silence becomes louder than their noise. Imagine this. You're walking past someone who once doubted you, and you don't even flinch. Not because you don't remember, but because you no longer need to care, because you already won, and they know it. And that silence between you, that's the sound of your dominance. This is the Stoic strategy. You don't fight in the dirt. You rise above it, not with noise, not with ego. With results, let them talk. Let your life answer. Part 4. Use strategic withdrawal, disappear, and let them wonder. Sometimes, the most powerful move you can make is to leave. Not out of fear, not out of weakness, but as a calculated act of control. Epictetus said, if someone provokes you, they win if you respond with anger. That's why the Stoic doesn't always confront. Sometimes he disappears, quietly, fully, with no announcement, and lets his absence speak for him. Because here's the truth. When you remove yourself from chaos, you rob it of its fuel. Most people need your presence, your attention, your emotions, your reaction to keep their drama alive. But the moment you pull away, the game collapses. They're left alone with their own thoughts, their own guilt, their own confusion. And that silence, that space you leave behind, becomes louder than anything you could have said in person. Disappearing is not ghosting. It's not running away. It's a strategic withdrawal, like a general pulling back to regroup, refocus, and re-engage only on your terms. Think about it. How many pointless conversations have you stayed in just to prove a point? How many arguments, toxic exchanges, or passive-aggressive situations have you tried to fix with more words? And what did you gain? Now flip the script. Imagine walking away, not with bitterness, but with clarity. No reaction, no announcement, just distance. You go offline, you don't answer. You focus on your growth, your body, your purpose, your peace. And they wonder, did I lose them? Why aren't they reacting? Are they better off without me? That quiet uncertainty is devastating, because it puts the focus back where it belongs, on them and for you. You're free from cycles, free from explaining yourself, free from burning energy on things that no longer deserve your voice. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They just refused to waste effort on fools. They didn't argue with people beneath their peace. They walked away and became more powerful in the process. So here's your practice. When things feel chaotic, ask yourself, does this deserve my energy or my silence? If it's the latter, walk, not to hurt them, but to protect you. Because disappearing from drama is not an escape, it's a power move. And the more you master it, the more mysterious and untouchable you become. Let them wonder. You've got better places to be. Part 5. Turn insults into jokes, the amused Stoic method. When someone insults you, the typical reaction is to defend, explode, or retreat. But there's a fourth option, and it's pure Stoic genius. Laugh not out loud like a clown, not mockingly, but with a calm, amused smirk. The kind that says, that's all you've got. Because when you can turn an insult into a joke, you win. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, the opinion of 10,000 men means nothing if you don't give it power. Insults only work if you believe them. If someone throws a verbal jab, and you absorb it like truth, it stings. But if you observe it from a distance, like watching a toddler throw a tantrum, the power of that insult evaporates. You become untouchable, not by being cold, but by being amused. This is what I call the amused Stoic method. Instead of, "How dare you say that?" you think, "That's cute." Instead of defending yourself in a panic, you smile slightly, shrug, or say, "Maybe," and move on. That small, subtle reaction throws them off completely, because they expected fire, but you gave them fog. Now they're confused, disarmed, and frankly, embarrassed. You just took their bullet and turned it into a balloon. And here's the deeper Stoic truth. Insults aren't about you. They're projections, expressions of someone else's insecurity, jealousy, or fear. When you react emotionally, you validate the version of you, but when you laugh, you show them you're operating on a completely different level. You're not cold, you're just above it. Think about the strongest people you know, the ones who really have their act together. When someone insults them in public, do they explode? No, they smile, maybe raise an eyebrow, maybe say nothing at all, but their calm sends a message. You don't even qualify to hurt me, and that's devastating. So here's your practice. The next time someone disrespects you, pause. Feel the heat rising in your chest. Then imagine yourself chuckling, not at them, but at the absurdity of giving this moment any weight. You've got kingdoms to build. You've got peace to protect. You don't need to win small battles with small minds. Turn their jab into a joke, their noise into nothing, their attack into amusement. Because when you can stay calm and light, when you can walk through fire and smile, you become someone people can't rattle and can't ignore.